Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pre-Accident Podcast Safety Moment. It is so sweet to be with you today. Hey, today let's talk about a topic we've talked about before on the big podcast, but I don't know if we've talked about much on the Safety Moment, and that's the notion of complexity. Now, the first question I'd ask is there a difference between the word complicated and the word complex? And, of course, the answer is they're spelled differently, and I already knew that. But, in fact, there is a difference. If something is complicated, it's difficult to do or difficult to understand. That's a good way to look at it. If something is complex, it's many pieces, many facets, tightly coupled. Now, the question I'd ask you is your organization complicated or complex? Is what you do for a living complicated or complex? So for the most part, what we do for a living is not terribly complicated. I usually understand what people do. But the processes by which they do perform the work that earns them the living are oftentimes incredibly complex, which leads me to the safety moment for today. Complexity is probably our largest operational problem with adaptive workers doing work in real time. Workers solving problems, sort of matching the work to the procedure, or actually improvising, being creative, doing work, accomplishing tasks. Our problem is not that hazards are difficult to identify, which is true. Sometimes they're incredibly difficult to identify. Our problem is that work doesn't track with the way we think it happens, and the reason that is because complexity. Now, here's the safety moment punchline. The solution for complexity is not simplicity. The opposite of complex isn't simple. The solution for complexity is transparency. Now, I want you to chew on this a while because this is really significant. In complex systems, we can increase the opportunity for success and decrease the opportunity for failure if we don't simplify the system, but in fact, if we make the system more transparent. So in your organization, there are probably some things that are difficult to do, complicated. But the question you want to ask is, have we made them also complex? And what we want to understand is when we can make a complex system more transparent, if you can tell me why I have to do what I have to do, why I need to fill out this form, why you want me to do what you want me to do matters, then I'm more prone to actually understand the meaning behind it, transparency. I understand why we're doing it, and I'm much more prone than, if I understand why we're doing it, to actually helping you become successful in managing that formality of operations that we deal with in the workplace. The opposite of complexity is transparency. Chew on that a while. It's very important. In fact, I would suggest in many cases this could be one of the secret weapons to safety. Hey, learn something new every day. Have a ton of fun, and thank you so much for listening. It is so great. Tell your friends, more the merrier. I love having you. Couldn't do it without you. And most of all, be safe.